Welcome back, scholars. I'm going to once again reach my hand into this fun box over here full of lots of new and old and fun books, and we're going to find out what we are reading today. And today we are going to read Pete the Cat Checks Out the Library. Let's go ahead and get started. And right away we see Pete is reading a book. What is he reading? Can you guys see? It says Zoom. And right away it has some cars on it, so I can tell by the word Zoom and the pictures on the book that he's reading about cars. So I wonder what this book is about. Pete the Cat Checks Out the Library. Let's get started. Pete's mom is taking him to the library for the first time. The librarian gives Pete his very own library card. "Cool," says Pete. The librarian smiles. "Time for the tour." And look, this sign says, "Shh, quiet please." Because if we remember, we're always quiet in the library. Shh. The librarian takes Pete through the library. There is a desk where people wait to check out books. Pete sees some of his friends reading at a long table. It's very peaceful and quiet. How relaxing. The librarian takes Pete to her favorite room. There are lots of Pete-sized chairs and tables and shelves. There are books of every shape, size, and color. "What do I do now?" Pete asks. "Now you read a book," the librarian says. "Which book should I read?" asks Pete. "You can read any book you like," says the librarian. Pete looks around. There are so many books. That's why I love the library, because there are so many books. I want to read this book about dogs. What books do you guys want to read? Pete picks up a book all about airplanes and jets. He reads it and pretends he is a stunt pilot. He flies a super fast jet and does loop-the-loops and spirals high in the sky. Oh wow, so he's using his what? That's right, his imagination. Then Pete finds a book with dragons and wizards and unicorns on the cover. He reads it and imagines that he is a powerful wizard, using magic spells and a special wand to defend his castle against fire-breathing dragons. Wow. That sounds amazing. Next, Pete opens up a book about spiders and insects. He reads it and imagines that he is a scientist studying all types of critters in the wild. He has to be very still to study some critters, and very fast to study others. What insects is he studying here? What about here? Then Pete chooses a book with all sorts of scary monsters on the cover. It is a book of fairy tales. Pete reads it and pretends that he is in a dark, spooky forest trying to outsmart a big bad wolf. Pete puts that book on a shelf. It's too scary. Yeah, I don't like scary books. Do you like scary books? Pete opens up a book about the pyramids in Egypt. He reads it and pretends that he is an explorer riding a camel across the desert and climbing to the top of a giant pyramid. Next, Pete picks up a book with all sorts of robots on the cover. He reads it and imagines that he is a robot at a robot dance party. His arms and legs make whizzing sounds when he moves. When Robot Pete speaks, he says, bleep, bloop, bleep. Next, Pete picks up a book about superheroes. He reads it and makes believe he is a superhero. He flies around the city in a colorful cape, chasing bad guys and saving the day. Then, Pete spots a big book about ocean and all of its creatures. He reads it and imagines that he is a scientist in a submarine deep in the Atlantic Ocean, looking for whales and squids and sharks. What's your favorite ocean animal in this picture? I like the whale. There are so many wonderful books to read at the library. Pete can be wherever he imagines with a book. Reading is super groovy. The end. Wow, what an amazing book. Look at all the different books in this picture. I see bugs and monsters and superheroes and planes and cars. What do you see? Well, thank you for reading another story with me today, scholars. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.